Good evening and a warm welcome to Big Budget Business, where we highlight prolific individuals making strides in their respective fields. Now, today's guest is someone you're probably already following on social media, a formidable force on these different platforms, Bakes. Welcome to the show, Bakes.
Thanks, Big Budget, for having me on the show.
It's really a pleasure. It's really a pleasure. So, maybe let's start with a brief background of Bakes. Tell us about yourself, what you'd like us to know.
Okay. I like the fact that you said my name 3 times, because when you say it 3 times, I know it's real.
Emphasis.
You say it with your heart, with your
I
chest.
even did like I was shooting. You saw that.
Yeah, okay. My name is Baker Teboho, or Bakes, on the digital world, or in the digital world. I come from a small village called Dihawana. It's about 20 kilometers away from Lubadzi. I was born in Lubadzi, did some of my schooling in Lubadzi and here in Gabs. But I'm a village boy through and through. Okay?
Wonderful.
Yeah, I did most of my schooling in Lubadzi. I did primary school in Dihawana, and then I came to Gabs, went to St. Joseph's College. I did my BA in the University of Botswana. Yeah, and I did an exchange program in Germany. I should just throw that.
No, you need to throw that in there.
Yeah.
That's important.
Yeah.
All right, no, great.
Yeah.
So that's interesting because Horara, we both represent bundling.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Bundle in the house.
That's just what it is. That's how it is. Wow. So very interesting there. So your maybe village growth. You did mention that you grew up in the village. Did you say that shaped you, like in terms of your thoughts and whatever?
Yeah, it really has cultured me, you know.
Okay, yes.
I think even some of the content that I create now really stems from my upbringing, you know, the lessons that I learned while I was growing up.
Absolutely.
You know, I always throw in my like Setswana punchlines in my content on my TikTok videos that make people feel like I'm relatable, you know.
Absolutely.
And it's things that I got from the village, you know, and I still stick to my village roots by delighting in some of the most down-to-earth, you know, practices or just things that I do in my life.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah, so it has really kept me grounded and cultured me in a beautiful light, I would say.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thanks so much for that. Now, let's talk about Bakes, the content creator and influencer. Tell us about your journey and how you've gotten to this point that you're at.
Okay. All right. I'll be very honest with you, Big Budget.
Yeah.
The influencer thing, the digital creator thing fell on my by chance. All right, so we have social media platforms. You have your Facebook, your Instagram, your TikTok, your Twitter, whatever. I have all those accounts as well. But for the longest time, my accounts, all of them were private, because I know that I've got a very big personality, very out there, but I'm a very private person.
Okay.
And I'm very reserved and very conservative in my nature. I know it's shocking. It's shocking. Yeah. But I opened up my accounts, I think, maybe 2 years ago or a year ago. I think Corona year. Like, that's when I opened up my social media account. And I think my Facebook is still private. I just share posts publicly.
Oh, okay.
There's like that function that you can use to share things publicly, even though your account is still locked. So I opened up my accounts, and I guess more and more people got to appreciate the content. The content is just feel-good content, you know.
Of course.
I don't really stage a lot of my content. I'm just in the car grooving, you know, having a nice time.
Exactly, living life.
Getting people to be in a positive space,
Which is
think
important.
positively about the day, giving good vibes. Like that is part of my personality. So the reason why I say the influencer thing, the digital creative thing fell on my lap is because through that, just sharing those random videos, and sometimes I would take a picture in a nice suit, you know, and then I would share. People like that. A lot of the people that follow me now, you know, they are really into that, like the style posts, the feel good videos, and a lot of the stuff that I do on Instagram with like reviewing local products, hosting the Bakes Business Live. People fell in love with that, and from that I grew a community of people that are really in support of, you know, who are just like riding the Bakes wave. And with that came opportunities to to turn all of that into actual content, something that can solidify me as a creator, for people to say, when I go to Baker's accounts, I know that I'm going to get good vibes. I know that I'm going to see a stylish guy. He's going to go on a trip and vlog the experience and share it with us, you know. So all of that came as a result of people just relating to the content organically.
Of course.
Yeah.
Wonderful. I like how you said it's really about feel-good content.
Yeah.
And this started at, Corona times. So with
Yeah.
everything that was going on, we were all glued to our phones. Where
Yeah.
else could we find entertainment?
Yeah.
We were locked in the house. And thank you for providing us with some
Yeah.
very entertaining and feel-good content.
Yeah.
And then another thing that you said is that when someone gets onto your pages, they know that if I go on to Bakes, any of the accounts, I will find the smart person, I'll find this, I'll find the feel-good content, so you know exactly what you're about.
Exactly.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are speaking to Bakes, influencer and content creator, and we'll be asking him a lot about his journey and exactly how young people who would like to leverage their talents can get into this space. One thing I will remind you, though, is that we are live, ladies and gentlemen, so please, if you'd like to ask any questions, put them in the comments section. If you have comments, comment away. We also have shared a link that you can click on if you would like to call in and ask questions. And today we are giving away 3 awesome prizes to 1 lucky sharer, 1 lucky commenter, and 1 lucky caller. So that might just be you. So, Bakes, tell us now about, how to leverage this social media and digital content creation aspect, because we've seen that with you, you've managed to make a lot of collaborations. You've managed to establish a lot of deals with different organizations. How can young people leverage their talent, use it on social media, and collaborate to grow?
Okay. All right. The thing with me is that most of my content is really centered around my personality. I've got a very explosive energy, and I think I'm very stylish. I would like to believe that. I would like to believe so.
See that. We can certainly see that.
Yeah. So the one thing that I would say to anybody who maybe wants to get into the content creation space is to really provide something that is very relatable, something that is very genuine, and something that is refreshing to see. You know, it's quite difficult to try and, I guess, leverage. You mean like monetize, maybe monetize content.
Really, that's what it's about.
Yeah. It's very difficult to monetize what you do as a creator online in Botswana. It's one of the most difficult things. And even though in a short space of time I've managed to get recognized by very big brands, I just wrapped up a campaign with White Fragrances. And some of the brand partners for that, it's Air Botswana, it's Maung Lodge, it's Ms. Mundo in Maung, it's Ride Botswana, it's Delta Helicopters in Maung. Like these guys, they can take you up there to see the Delta from above. Yeah. What? So these are like some of the big brands that I've recently just worked with. It's very important to stay true to yourself.
Absolutely.
And not to get lost in everything that you see online. I often get told a lot to, present myself in a certain way so that I could get brands to recognize me, be like this so that so and so can, pump money into your show, whatever. Yeah. But the one thing that I know how to do best is to be myself.
Wonderful.
And that is the best advice that I can give to anybody, young people or older people. Yeah. There's no harm in being a creator when you are older.
I agree.
Is to be yourself throughout everything that you do. Just present yourself in your most natural state, and your tribe will gravitate towards you. Like the reason why I think some of the collaborations that I've had, it's brands that see me and they find my content, they find my personality refreshing, and they're like, he's different, and we like the fact that his people, relate with him in a way that is very relatable and like everyday and like, just like down to earth kind of relations. Brands that come, it's brands that understand that here it's real, it's
Yes.
organic,
It's
yeah.
just authentic.
Yeah, it's authentic.
Absolutely. Wonderful. Right. So there we have it, young and old content creators.
Yes.
If you'd like to make it in the space, be as authentic as possible. Just be you. We've got some comments already coming in here from Shishi Bentley Graham. Shout out to you. She says, Bakes
Yes!
is live, guys. And then we have Randall S. Newman, who also says, amazing.
Yeah.
And of course, Norma Googs, who says,
These
Bakes.
are my Instagram people.
Are you serious? So the squad came through.
Yes, the squad came through.
Yeah, shout
and
out to y'all.
They go around. They go follow me.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
wonderful.
Shout out, guys.
Norma Cooks is out here saying bakes and good vibes always.
Yes.
Remember, guys, keep your comments coming. One lucky commenter will get an amazing gift, which we'll announce, and then one lucky sharer will also get a gift. If you would like to call in, there's a link that we've shared. It should be there in the comments section. Guest eCam. You can click on that link and call in to ask Bakes any question. So we're speaking about content creation, the social media space, and how to get around it, to navigate. Now, let me ask you, Bakes, what would you say, or who would you say is your biggest inspiration?
Ooh, you mean in the content creation space?
Perhaps there and in life in general.
In life in general, okay. I would say that my biggest inspiration in life in general, it's my brother, my older brother. He really inspires me a lot. And the fact that he's someone that is tangible, somebody that is close to me, it's amazing. It's like a blessing just to see my brother, just learn from his wisdom and just learn from his grace and just his existence. He's absolutely amazing. Bosh Teboho, shout out.
Shout out to you, Bosh.
No,
No, you might as well use the opportunity.
Yeah, so my brother is my inspiration, and my mom, obviously. And I know it sounds very cliche.
I know.
But I really love where I come from. The love, the respect, and the hunger to live life.
Yes.
These are the teachings that I was brought up with. That's why these people inspire me. And I would say that in the digital space, the people that inspire me are mostly people that I have on the Bigs Business Live. It's a platform that I interview people like this.
Of course.
Mostly small businesses. It's a platform that I started Corona year when there was just a lot of trauma around us. People were losing jobs, businesses were closing down, and we just had like a lot of grief and a lot of pain and a lot of disappointment, anger, frustration, depression, online, everywhere we went. It was just heartbreaking. And then I started this platform where I interviewed like people, because my thing was maybe let me use my energy to draw in my audience so that they could come and listen to people who are giving service or selling products or whatever, as a way of marketing their businesses. So the guests that I bring on the show really inspire me.
Wonderful.
Because one thing that I've learned, I've been doing it since the beginning of this year, the Bigs Business Live. I've been doing it since the beginning of this year. And there are people who are so hungry to be on the show because they have seen and heard of the positive impact it has on other people's businesses. I don't have the biggest following, but I know that I can trust my audience to go out and support like the different people that I bring on. But the hunger of the guests that come on the Bigs Business Live, it really inspires me to keep on going, because it teaches me that we are all striving for one thing in life, to better our livelihood. So all these people that I bring on through their different stories, they're just so inspiring.
Wonderful. Yeah. There you have it. He's inspired by the very people that he interviews.
Yeah.
Wow, that's great. We have a question here from King KG. And King KG says, great interview, Mr. Bakes. I'd like to know, would you be open to working with SMEs to help push their brands and products / services, or you just deal with corporates? So once again, Okay.
Sorry.
Oh, you got the question. Thanks,
Sorry.
King KG, for that question. Go ahead.
King KG is does not follow the Bakes business life.
Okay.
I have a corporate sometimes. It's not like an all the time thing. And even in the styling of the show, I usually try to mix things up. But even my manager will tell you that this show is really centered around SMEs. You know what I mean? It's just unfortunate that I stream it once a week, which means that the calendar or the number of people that I can bring on becomes very limited. Yeah. So I can't really have like a lot of people.
Wonderful.
But I like I've just said before this question came up, I just said that I'm inspired by the underdogs because I feel like I'm an underdog myself, you know. I've never really been there with the high echelons of society. So I feel like I play with the underdogs, even though sometimes, you know, when things like what I do, things like what you do grow, you tend to find yourself playing in a different space. But I think my heart really lies with the SMEs. So just slide in my DMs, King KG, and we will talk.
Wonderful. There we have it. Thank you so much for that question, King KG. And actually, let me congratulate you, King KG. You are our first winner for today. Boo, 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 boo. So you have won yourself a great BK Proctor hat. What you need to do is to inbox Black Network with your name, your ID, not your ID number, but your full name, King KG, just your full name, and then you can write BK Proctor cap. Congratulations, and thank you for your question. So let's keep those comments and questions coming. We are speaking to Bakes, and he's telling us about the content creation space as well as the influencer space. Now, let's speak to your biggest challenge. What would you say has been your biggest challenge? And if you have overcome it, how would you say you've done so?
Okay, I think I hinted on it earlier as I was answering one of the questions, or maybe I just volunteered the information before you asked the question. But the biggest challenge that I have, I'm speaking for myself, I'm not speaking for nobody, before you throw tomatoes at me. But the biggest challenge for me really is monetizing content in Botswana.
Yes.
It is the biggest challenge for any content creator. I'm speaking for myself. But it's so difficult to monetize content in Botswana. So that is my biggest challenge in this space, because you look at geographies like South Africa, for example.
Exactly, which is so close to us.
Which is so close to us, and people are basically paying off cars, paying off mortgages from doing the stuff that we do here. You know, just the other day, a friend of mine in South Africa who is an Instagram baddie. She's an Instagram baddie. Like, she's an influencer of note in the hundreds of followers.
Wow.
She's making bag, right?
Wow, that's
Guess
great.
what she says to me?
Yes.
She's like, I need to schedule a call with you because I need you to teach me the ropes of making it on TikTok. I can see that your TikTok is popping.
And she's the one asking you.
She's asking me.
What?
So technically, she sees me as some kind of a subject expert. You know, she's like, this guy maybe I could learn a thing or two from. And along the conversation, I just mentioned the fact that I don't get paid from TikTok. You know, I don't get, you know, I can't monetize my TikTok, even though I get like hundreds of thousands of views, thousands and thousands of shares.
Wow, that is awesome.
And she was so shocked. She's like, the reason why I want you to coach me is because people are making a lot of money on TikTok here in South Africa. You know, she's comfortable with Instagram. I could take a couple of lessons from her as an Instagram.
An IG,
yeah. But TikTok, she felt like I would better be placed to kind of coach her. But it's so unfortunate that I'm not making the kind of money that she's looking at making, and she's just right across the border. You know, she's not in the States. She's not in the UK. She's right here. So it's quite frustrating because I'm still new in the space. Maybe I'm preempting my blessings.
Yeah, but you've made strides.
Yeah.
You've made like great strides.
Thank you.
Like
Thank
your
you,
TikTok is
BigBudget.
popping. Like that's basically your social media, and that's why we wanted you here, so that you can inspire other people who watch the show, who'd like to do what you do.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are live once again. We've shared a link on the comment section, and you can use that to call into the show if you would like to. As we've mentioned, we're giving away some awesome prizes today, so we've already given one away. If you'd like to grab yours, be sure to call to interact with us and speak to Bakes about what it is that he's up to. Now, Let's talk to what you do outside of the social media. But sorry, before we get to that, you did mention an important point, which was that it's hard to monetize the whole social media and content creation in Botswana.
Yeah.
Now, what would you say are the causes of this? A lot of these networks, do they recognize our geography? They don't.
They don't.
And that's
they
why.
don't, all of them, in my experience. Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, for as far as I know, as far as I've done my bit of research, they don't recognize us. We don't even have the TikTok Creator Fund, for example, which is like a money driver for most creators in other places. And the thing is, what really blows my mind is that you get on social media and Botswana creators are pulling in numbers.
Oh, hey.
They're putting in numbers. I could mention them, but we've got so many talented people who really are entertaining online or giving us value for the time that we spend online.
Absolutely.
And creators are not just like your entertainers or like your singers, your comedians, your bubeka. Creators are people who sometimes teach us about plants.
Exactly.
Who teach us how to you know what I mean?
Financial
There's
literacy,
there's like different tiers to this thing on social media, and there are really talented people who are doing all of these things.
Certainly.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, so it's definitely quite the challenge, but I guess we'll get there. I mean,
yeah, and as well, I would like to mention this, and I know that I might get dragged for this, but this is something that I've observed on social media. I think even the society, social media users, everyday citizens, they haven't really warmed up to the idea that like, for example, if you say, I have got like, I don't want to give examples of things that I've done in the past because it would look like I'm taking shots at the brand.
That's why I'm quiet. Yeah.
But like,
But
for
any
example,
product of
if a brand comes and says, can you please wear this ring? That is advertising. Like, if the moment I pose like this with this ring, I know that 10 people are going to want to buy that ring. You're going to be getting mileage from the eyeballs that are watching me.
Yes.
And I need to be
remunerated.
Exactly. You need to compensate me for my efforts. You know what I mean?
I totally agree.
Botswana, hey, they're gonna drag me, so I can trend them on Twitter. We haven't warmed up to the idea that is the new wave of marketing. We haven't accepted the fact that creators and influencers are walking billboards. They are the jingles on radio.
Oh, yes.
They are the pages in a magazine.
That's what they
or
are.
Newspaper. We're still so behind because I always see people bashing we still are really still criticizing this new wave of marketing, this new direction of new age branding and advertising. We're still very much not alive to the idea that in other countries, people who are doing this are paying off mortgages.
Oh, yes.
From just doing that.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
We have a comment here from Keith Tafadzwa Kanengoni who says, nothing is more powerful than someone just being themselves. Power to you, Bakes, and just as much Big Budget. Hey, thank you so much for that, Keith Tafadzwa Kanengoni. We have another comment here from Wabotle Ntoya Pelu who says, he doesn't get the dough, he bakes them. Thank you so much for those comments. Thank you so much for those comments. If you'd like to call in, there is a link. I mean, you could win yourself something nice, but that's still fine. Let's continue. I was going to ask what it is that Bakes is involved in outside of the content creation space.
I'm a corporate Katani, man.
You're in the corporate space. Okay.
Maybe.
Okay. Okay. No, that's great.
Yeah.
And also maybe even from a community development perspective, are there any causes that you're passionate about?
Yeah. How do I answer that one? It sounds so structured and so formal. I don't even have an angle. But I'll tell you this. If you're talking about goodwill and charity,
yes, of course,
that's something that is very close to my heart. I mean, I feel like the Baked Business Life was started on the grounds of wanting to do something for the society or for community.
Absolutely.
So that is like my starting point. But from a very early age, my mom is such a giver. She's such a giver. Ha ke zangudi ga ona ke tla ke rekile Nando's, KFC, chicken leg in
Yes.
o tsa stoki in every and then gives
distributes.
to neighbors.
Wonderful.
So that is the spirit that I was
Wonderful,
brought up
wonderful.
with, you know,
Yes.
to give back. And the one thing that I know that I've done throughout my life, not just in my adult life, but throughout my life, is that I always give clothes away because I buy a lot of clothes and sometimes and then I just find myself having to like donate them.
I should get myself in line then.
No, big budget. Look at this studio. What?
Goodness.
You want handouts from me? Never. This looks like money, Mr. Big Budget.
Hence
Yeah,
the
so
name of the show.
I give away a lot of clothes. That's like the one area that without fail every year I'm giving away clothes.
Wonderful.
And I think growing up or just maturing, I now don't even like talk about it. It's just something that I do, you know, behind the scenes and just get it over and done with. But there's something that I did that is, I think, is very interesting and very noble.
Okay.
I feel like I'm growing up.
Like I'm
Recently,
growing
I celebrated my birthday, right?
Yeah.
And I went to Sekitumile Teaching Hospital.
Oh, yes.
And I wanted, like, there are unsung heroes, like people who have been saving lives through COVID. They are unsung heroes.
Oh, yes.
And as a way of
Fighting the
expressing gratitude, I had like Sunflower Desserts reach out to me. They make cakes, beautiful cakes. They reached out to me and they were like, Bakes, you know, we would like to design a cake in your favor for your birthday
That
to
rhymes,
celebrate
huh?
you.
Bakes and the cakes. Yeah, very
Bakes and cakes! Yeah.
That's the rapper. Anyway, yeah.
Yeah, so I was just like, you know what, I've been having cake all my life. Maybe let me do something sweet for someone else, you know.
Yeah.
And I asked them if you can prepare like I would say gift packages in the form of sweet treats to go and take to Sekitumile Teaching Hospital. I identified a ward and I was just like, you know what, in as much as I can't spend the entire day with you guys because you have to save lives, I took the sweet treats and I took it to the healthcare practitioners. I treated the security staff. I treated like just the people in that ward, just to celebrate them and what they do. You know, at first I was not going to post about it. I was not going to talk about it because it was something that was really heartfelt and very close to home. But when I called the head matron, I hope I'm saying it right. When I called her and said, "Hey, I would like to do this," they were so overjoyed. They were like, we want it on our Facebook. We want it in our newsletter. We want to publicize it. And since I'm a content creator, I was just like, I'll, you know, follow your lead and just create content around it. Wow. But that was like a gesture that I feel like, you know, in terms of just continuously giving back, even though it's ad hoc sometimes. Yeah. It's one of the things that I, you know, celebrate, hold close to my heart.
Wow,
yeah.
That's very inspiring. That's very inspiring. And, you know, let me commend you for the work that you've done because a lot of people are fighting this COVID fight on behalf of some of us who are out there also doing our own thing. So they need to be also, you know, appreciated. Yeah. And so thank you for that sweet gesture.
I said to them when I got to the hospital, I was like, guys, I'm sorry to stop you from your daily duties. I know this is not going to change your life, but it will cheer you up for the day. You know what I mean? But it was by
and we've got another comment here from Wabotle Ntoyapelu, who did say that he bakes them, who says, Tota, the mentality we have as a nation is going to cause us to get left behind more than ever, you know. So that's something to think about in terms of society, our mentality and the like. And for your engagement, Wabotle Ntoyapelu, your 2 comments, you get yourself a BK Proctor cap too. So what you need to do is to inbox Black Network with your full names so that when you come or when we deliver, we can confirm that with the ID. Give us your full names and then just type BK Proctor cap. Congratulations there. And then we also have a comment from Lloyd Chitio who says, nice show, Big Budget. Thank you very much, Lloyd Chitio. We really appreciate that. And then the Disability Resources and Advocacy Center, Botswana, says, do you have any advice on how to provide good feel vibes, even with informative social commentary type of content? I'll repeat. Do you have any advice on how to provide good feel vibes, even with informative social commentary type of content.
It's
Good
quite,
vibes
it's quite,
and informative.
yeah,
the
good
mix
vibes
there.
and informative.
And social aspects as well.
I don't know if I can say that it depends on where it's coming from.
Okay.
Because sometimes the source is very important in message delivery. So, hey, that sounds like a very difficult question. I don't even know why I attempted to answer it, because I feel like I keep it. But sometimes working with brands and trying to sell things.
Yes.
Obviously, it's information. You know what I mean,
Yes, of
for the
course.
seller, for the
Yeah.
person who's watching or consuming the content. Brands would say, Bakes, can you please place this on whatever platform, whether it's going to be a picture, whether it's going to be a video or whatever. So the source would be the fact that maybe I would be having fun, and then I would just, throw in a punchline about what
yes.
people can look forward to, you know.
yes.
You know what I mean? Like I talk about like random things that sometimes people can relate with. Like sometimes when I'm having a bad day, I would make a video about it, and then I would just like turn the mood around and just tell people. But that depression and anxiety from the day is not really going to dampen my mood forever. You know what I mean? That is triggering on a social reality of mental health.
Oh,
You know what I
yes,
mean?
yes, yes.
So it's in a way informative, even though I'm not addressing it in detail. I am, however, admitting to the fact that, I deal with the same things that everybody else deals with,
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
No, thank you so much. And thank you, Disability Resources and Advocacy Center, Botswana, for that question. The comments are just many here. We've got Cosmos, who says, it's a brilliant show. Thank you, Mr. Cosmos. Cosmos Mudisai Mang, for that. He says it's a brilliant show. Big ups. Thank you very much. So I think just in closing, how can we contact or follow Bakes?
Okay. Hey, I tried this Facebook page thing.
Okay.
How page on Facebook. But I'm very present on Instagram. I feel like that is my prime platform in terms of social media reach, engagement, and everything digital related. So it's bakes_bakes_bakes on Instagram. On TikTok, it's bakes_bakes_bakes, same handle. I think I'm probably going to change my account to Bakes on Facebook, because I tried the page thing. After a week, I was just tired already.
Wow.
Posting, repurposing content across the different platforms. So it's Bakes across my most present platforms.
Yes.
And I would also like to tell or encourage your watchers or
Audience,
the people who are enjoying the show now.
Take it away.
Please support the Bakes Business Live. It's an online streaming show, just like this one, on Instagram. Every Thursday at 8 p.m., I bring on different business people, SMEs, sometimes big brands. Sometimes I partner them. Sometimes it's just big brands alone. Sometimes it's just SMEs alone.
Wonderful.
So I would like to encourage people to really support that, because it's a platform that will introduce you to the amazing work that business people and entrepreneurs in the country are doing, and you can support and you can get convenience just by watching and supporting the show.
Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, there we have it. We were speaking to Bakes, influencer and content creator, about his journey and the stuff that he does. So please be sure to follow him and to also catch Bakes Business Live Thursdays 8 p.m. on his social media platforms. So Bakes, let me thank you so much for being on Big Budget Business.
Thank you so much for having me. I feel like a celebrity. I've made it. There's lights, there's background, there's suits.
We're glad you feel that way. We're really glad you feel that. It's been a pleasure having you.
Thank you so much.
Wonderful. Ladies and gentlemen, don't touch that dial before you go anywhere. We're going for a 2-minute commercial break, and we'll be back with our 2-minute tip. right. So before we get into our 2-minute tip for today, we should also acknowledge the viewers who've been watching on Bakes' Facebook page. And we have Lemukhang Sesupo, shout out to you, and health coach Lebo Mananye. Health coach Lebo Mananye sent 2 flames of fire. So because of the fire, health coach Lebo Mananye, you've also won yourself a BK Proctor cap. So health coach Lebo Mananye, please send your full names to the black page, and after your full name, just write BK Proctor cap. So ladies and gentlemen, that was our conversation with Bakes. Today's 2-minute tip is not necessarily to deal with financial literacy or the type of informative 2-minute tips that we usually give, but rather it's in commemoration of the Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And there's going to be a 17-kilometer breast cancer awareness fun walk. This fun walk is organized by Lega Bibo, and this breast cancer awareness fun walk will be on the 23rd of October. That should be Saturday, yes, the 23rd of October, starting at 6. Now, this fun walk is from Pitsane Choppies to Good Hope Bus Rank. So ha ile gore on Saturday morning o side tsonetse tsa rona na le Bakes bo Pitsane bo Good Hope bo Digawana bo Bandleng, please make sure that you go to this breast cancer awareness fun walk in support of the breast cancer awareness drive that they have. If you would like to RSVP by any chance, please speak to, if you would like to RSVP and support, please speak to Mpeme on 7400903. That's 7400903. Let's all try and support this breast cancer awareness fun walk. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a wonderful show. Thank you so much for your time. As always, from me, Big Budget, and the team that makes it happen, Black Network, Moana Pictures, it's good night and God bless. And never forget that you were born for so much more.